So why do you think I have this? Well, this is prettier, right? But why do you think I have this on? Swivel, right? So I can record what I'm doing. Although when I go back and look at them, I say, look like that. Kind of, you know. You're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be looking at your attributes, what you're doing, how you're working with your students, not how you physically present yourself in the video. So welcome, everybody. We will have a little bit of a challenge so that you can earn yourself a candy bar as the presentation goes on. You know my cohort in crime here, Dr. Shields?
Everybody.
And we have some other important dignitaries and guests. Could they please stand up and introduce themselves? Yeah. Our student teacher person?
I'm Roberta Friedenberg, and I'm the placement coordinator for field placement and student teaching.
And does everybody know Dr. Shields? Yes, right? And how about Mrs. Sarah Sugarts? Do you know her? Right? She's a valuable resource. Yay! Oh, look at your girl. You almost got a round of applause. Could I just ask you to shut that door? It's driving me crazy. All right. So welcome, everybody. One of the things that you have to understand about education is that we are being guided by standards. Has anybody heard about the standards lately in the media? Anybody heard about the Common Core standards in the media?
The governor is trying to reconsider how the state is implementing things.
Yeah, he just, there was just such a rush in the rollout of everything that the governor has now reconvened a commission, right, that is studying the timelines on these changes, some of the substance of these changes, so there's been a lot of changes. But anyways, how many people really have what they would consider a deep understanding about the Common Core? No, okay.
Like it or not, life is full of measuring sticks. How smart we are, how fast we are, how well we can, compete. But up until now, it's been pretty hard to tell how well kids are competing in school and how well they're going to do when they get out of school. We like to think that our education system does that. But when it comes to learning what they really need to be successful after graduation, is a girl in your neighborhood being taught as...
Whoa! Bad, Dr. K. I was trying to get this. Whoops, wrong one. My bad. Where is it? Down here? No, we want this one.
Like it or not,
I got two of them going.
how smart we are, how fast we are, how well we can...
That's what I wanted to do. So sorry.
But up until now, it's been pretty hard.
They caught that on tape, too. Lost it. Pardon?
This isn't the one that's playing.
We like to think that our
Yeah, it
education
is.
system does that. But when it comes to learning what they really need to be successful after graduation, is a girl in your neighborhood being taught as much as her friend over in the next one? Is a graduating senior in, say, St. Louis as prepared to get a job as a graduate in Shanghai?
And then make this
Well,
one.
it turns out the answer to both
Don't
of
do
these questions
that one.
is no.
There we
Because
go.
for years, states have been setting different standards for what students should know.
Too many clicks too fast.
That's making it too hard to know if our kids are really doing well enough overall. And if they can really compete for a job somewhere.
Okay, so this is the impetus for Common Core standards, which are really a national set of standards.
They're like a total sea change in education. Consistent, strong, clear benchmarks for English language arts and math. Here's how it works. You can think of kindergarten through 12th grade like a giant staircase. Each step is a skill your child needs to learn before stepping up to the next one. But right now, too many kids aren't really confident with like 2 plus 2 before they have to move on to 2 times 2. We need more focus on the skills that help them move up the stairs, or they can slip up and fall behind. And there's another problem. What if everyone's stairs were made at different heights? Well, here we go again. They are. So, a boy in Seattle who's rocking an A in English literature could be getting a C on his Chicago friend's staircase. Oops. We need to create consistent steps in education, too. So first, each standard creates a landing.
Okay, so the B and C comparison was that push for national testing, benchmark testing.
And teacher to focus on the skills their students are supposed to know at that step, no matter the zip code, language, or race. And more importantly, each standard makes sure all students are learning what they need to know to get to graduation and beyond. Because something like counting to 100 leads to understanding dollars and cents, which eventually leads to understanding how to manage a budget. Secondly, the standards are consistent from school to school, and they match up against international standards too. Now we know how we're doing compared to just about everyone. So even though local communities will still design their own curriculum, with the same rules, everybody can compete on the same kind of staircase. But standards aren't learning. That's why we need teachers, parents, and students to help make that happen. Are working together to help kids meet these standards. The world's getting more and more competitive every day. But now, when our kids get to the top of their staircase, they can have way more options on where their life goes from there. Clear goals, confident, well-prepared students. That's the Common Core State Standard.
Okay, anybody have any questions on that? Okay, so that's one set of standards that we have. We have to abide by, excuse me?
They're all in
English and mathematics right now. They're still working on all the rest of the standards, but what you have to know about the English standards is that it's reading and writing in the content area.
language. They don't have them translated in any other language, correct?
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah. Okay. So now, also, our program is governed by the INTASC standards. Okay. These are the Model Core Teaching Standards, the Interstate Teaching Standards. So we're governed by that. And we are also governed by our testing. And so we have EdTPA. How many people know about EdTPA? Raise your hand. Okay, EdTPA is the bar exam for teachers. It's one of the certification exams that you have to take, and I'll go over those shortly. Okay, I want you to see that. This says policy in place, and you see New York State is red. We have a policy in place. As of the May 1st, 2014, everyone must take the EdTPA for initial certification. That's the bottom line. Even though who said that they were reviewing it? Yeah, yes. Even though they're reviewing it, that still is in place. They haven't taken that away. But I'll talk about a few little changes in a little bit. Any questions so far? Okay, so our standards are measured within the EdTPA. And the EdTPA is also a measure of how you implement the Common Core standards. All right? And is everybody familiar with this site? Engage New York? How many people? Raise your hand up high if you're familiar. Okay, you can eat some more pepperoni now. So yes, this is the Engage New York website, and then we have New York State Teaching Standards. So we have 7 professional standards here as well that integrate and correlate. They match up like this with the INTASC standards, which are national standards. So state standards, national standards. Why so many standards? Why state and national? Do we know? Who's really in charge? Who, according to our government, is in charge of education? The state or the federal government? The state. It's a states' right issue, right? So they make it look like it's they make some of the things that we do look like it's state-led, but it's really some big push from the federal government. So that's where we are right now. Okay. Who knows who the Commissioner of Education is in New York State? Who wants to make a developmental approximation? What's a developmental approximation? Like coming close to something, right? Oh, okay. All right, how many people think it's male or female? How many people say male? How many people say female? If you said female, take a candy bar and pass it around to everybody else who said female. So she's female, okay? Why is it important you get to know this person? Because she's a person who's in charge of our education programs. I just met her last week, by the way. What's her name?
Hi, I'm Charlie Shillier, 2016 New York State Teacher of the Year.
She's shorter than me.
Welcome to my last class in Harvardville High School, and welcome to my school year.
And I'm Mary Ellen Elia. It's a new school year for you and for me. Many of you may know I became State Education Commissioner over the summer break. While most students were away from school, I and teachers across New York, like Charlie, have been working to make sure that the 2015-16 school year is a
Yeah,
great
a language teacher.
I've had the opportunity to travel to some of the schools already, and will be doing even more of that in the coming weeks and year. But first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I began my career in education as a social studies teacher in the Sweet Home School District near Buffalo in 1970. I taught for 19 years overall, before moving on to various administrative positions.
Does everybody know where Sweet Home
I
is?
still consider
It's
myself
right up the
a
street.
teacher, and I always will. I'm walking in this classroom, and I can understand why Charlie is our Teacher of the Year. Kids experience lots of different things in Charlie's classroom, and as they're learning Latin, they're learning about the world and how it all affects them.
I've had the privilege of traveling around the state as Teacher of the Year, and I'm very proud of my colleagues. You know what? There are many Teachers of the Year out there. They work hard every day, they love their students, they keep their skills up, and every summer they say, how can I do things better this September? I applaud them, and I'm proud to represent them.
We need to hear from teachers and from parents about ways to move the system forward. We'll review the learning standards and assessments in a way that will allow everyone to have a voice, particularly the practitioners who are implementing standards in our schools. Charlie and I both believe that parents are crucial partners in the education of children. As a parent and as a teacher, I know how important that partnership is to a child's success in the current school year and in the years ahead.
I know over 50 years in our business, I still get a knot in the pit of my stomach the night before school starts, and I still get excited when my students come through that door.
You know, the thing is, Charlie, every day we've got to figure out a way to get better. And if you figure out that, and you work with each other, with your colleagues, and you improve, that's really what it's all about. We're really dedicated to our teachers, and you're a great model for us as Teacher of the Year in New York State.
Thank you so much, and thank you for visiting us today.
If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and like us on Facebook. And be sure to check Engage New York, where our content is being updated regularly. I'll be filling you in on what I'm doing and the places I'm visiting, and I'd love to hear about the new school year and how it's going for you too. I know you're as excited as I am about the new possibilities this year for New York State. So let's get to work. The kids are counting on us.
Okay, so that's our new Commissioner of Education, Mary Ellen Elia. I got a chance to meet her. She's short, like I said, she's shorter than me, but that's okay. And we're going to go here. Okay. All right. So what was her message?
Get better.
Right. Okay, so we're working harder to get better, right? And we have this new committee out there who's taking a look at the Common Core and what's going on with the Common Core and how we are supposed to work with our students in order to improve education in New York State. So this is one of your go-to websites. Okay, so what's new for our program? What's new for our program? Videotaping is going to be integrated within our program. What is Dr. K doing right now? What's happening to me?
You're videotaping with the swivel kit.
I am videotaping with the swivel kit. It is recording me. Okay, does this bother me? Well, when I look at my hair afterwards, but other than that, no. Okay, so why is videotaping so important? Yeah, it's on the NTPA, and it's also a good tool for teacher self-reflection and growth, and we just have to get accustomed to it. Okay, so there's a great resource out there for you. And remember, this is a chance for you to get to be a diva a little bit, and I found this really nice resource for you. And how many people are familiar with Teacher Channel? Teacher Channel is a great tool. Hopefully it'll let me just go on here. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Let's talk about what's going on today. To get started, we're doing a peer review day, okay, a peer review day. And our goal by the end of class is for you to be able to determine whether or not you have moves to prove in your essays.
My name is Sarah Brown Wrestling. I am a high school English teacher at Johnston High School in Johnston, Iowa.
Turn to somebody next to you. Tell them what you think I mean when I talk about moves to prove.
I think that there is a difference for teachers between the abstract of how we see our practice and then the concrete reality of it.
Okay, so I would like you to please bring up your papers. The paper that you wrote for today that you shared with me.
I think what video offers for us is a certain degree of reality. You can't really dispute what you see on the video. And there is a lot to be learned from that. And there's a lot of ways that we can grow as a profession when we actually get to see this. I just have a flip camera and a little tripod and invested in a...
So that's what she uses? We give you these are a lot easier, a lot nicer. We provide this for you when you go out.
Back of the classroom, it's not a perfect shot. It doesn't catch every little thing that's going on, but I can hear the sound, I can see a lot, and I'm able to learn a lot from it. So it really has been a simple but powerful tool in my own reflection.
All right, let's take a look at the long one first, okay?
I tape everything, actually. So I just put the camera up every day, and it's just always on.
Next week, at the beginning of the week, we're going to start talking about this idea of constructing truth. And I'm going to ask you to think about whether or not that's lying.
Once I'm finished taping, then I put it in my computer, and then I'll scan it and, take a peek at it.
Go ahead and take out your iPad.
If I don't write things down, I don't remember them. So I think having the notes is part of my thinking process. And a lot of times I discover what I'm seeing as I'm writing. I really have used it for my own personal growth, my own personal reflection on teaching strategy and methodology and classroom management and just all of those different facets of the classroom.
This is my second hour class, and I've been videotaping my classes.
One of the great things about the school that I'm in is we certainly have people who are more than willing to come into their classroom as soon as you ask them to. And certainly one of those people is my principal.
A lot of times when I have students working groups that I'm wondering more than I think I usually do.
I asked him to come in, and then I kind of said, this was what my learning purpose was. This is kind of what I'm thinking about. Will you watch it with me with that set of eyes?
It might be interesting to do.
Okay, so a lens. Looking at it from a lens.
If it's a wandering and observing or...
She's also looking at it through the lens of research. Is she using research-based practices when she's working in that classroom?
Forefront, some look like they're talking more than others, and I think the advantage of video for a teacher is, first of all, it gives them that opportunity to be self-reflective. But I think the bigger aspect to it is that part to be collegial, the ability to have others take a look at it as well and see what their perceptions are.
It makes me think about, what are you learning from them?
Right.
What are they learning from each other?
Right.
And somehow capturing that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's at the end of class in the reading doc that you jot those things down.
It's a fantastic way to get better. It's so easy to just keep doing the same thing over and over again, but when you have a video that then breaks down what you've just done to talk about it with a colleague, it forces you in a good way to be reflective of your practice.
I offered some of my observations, and then he does what he does really well, which is ask great questions. And just kind of pushed my thinking and gave me some ideas about some reflection questions to ask the kids.
This is what I would like you to try to do with your iPads today. I would like you to try to record yourself reading your paper.
Okay, so one of the things that she's doing up there, she has an activity for their students, and it's called Paper Talk, right? So it's a form of an activity to make sure that she is facilitating oral discourse within the classroom, right? So that's one of the things they're going to look at the EdTPA. Are your students engaged? And is there good oral discourse based upon the content that you're teaching? And also, do you use academic language, Tier 2 and Tier 3 words, right? So those are some of the things that she's looking at right now, and she's going to be talking about that in a collegial way. Is her principal saying you should have done this, and you should have done this, or you should have done this, or judging or criticizing in any way? No, they're reflective frames looking at practice. She intimately knows that lesson because she planned and designed it. He's observing it. So sometimes what you think you're doing versus what comes across to your students are two different things. So it's a different lens to look at it. So you can't be nervous about it. You can't be scared. It's a fabulous tool for looking at your craft. Did I do that? How was my timing? You can't worry about the little things like, did you flick the video the wrong way? That's, things are like that are going to happen. It's how you handle it, right? What did I do? I laughed and I'm like, okay, technology, right? What are you going to do? So these are the things that you're looking at, and you're going to be self-reflective. All those principles that you learned in 203 and 237 greatly apply to supporting what you choose to do in your lessons, because your lessons are really applications of 203 and 237 and the additional skills and techniques that you learn along the way. Okay, any question there? All right, I'm going to leave this because you can go back to this. And I also want to tell you that you should just sign up to the teaching channel. There's a whole series in here about how to make and share notes, which is very similar to what you have to do for your EdTPA. So when you do your EdTPA, you go out there, you videotape your lessons. Try to videotape more lessons than you think you're going to be able to use, because just in case the video quality is not good, or something happens, or somebody throws up in class or something like that, and you choose not to use that video, you can do a different learning segment, because the learning segment, of course, is up to you. Okay, any question there? All right, so it's a great tool for you to take a look at. Make sure that you do that. So this is new for us. It's not new in education, but it's more embedded into our program. One of the things that was pointed out to us is that things are moving on in education. And one of the things that New York did was they tried to fly the plane while they were still building it. So there's been a lot of issues that have occurred along the way. So what we're trying to do is, in a very thoughtful and conscientious, take a look at our program to see where we can embed and scaffold you to success. So one of these sessions is one of those things that will happen for you. So we are proposing videotaping this year for the first time in 237, EDU 320, 336, and 311. We can only go so fast. This technology is brand new. We were the beta test. What's a beta test? Anybody know what a beta test is? Beta test is first time through. We beta tested this particular technology and worked back and forth with the company so that it's a great tool for you to use, because you don't have to worry about the flip camera. You don't have to worry about where you are. As you position yourself in the room, the camera will follow you. See it following me? So I don't have to worry about where I am and who I'm with, because it follows me. So I can concentrate on what it is that I have to do and not have to really focus on this media. Okay, any question about that? Okay. What do you know about fingerprinting?
You get it done for free, but you still have to pay the $100 to put it on the website.
Who in this room used to be a fingerprinter, certified fingerprint expert? Who in this room? I can't do it for you anymore. I used to be able to do it for the students here. Can't do it anymore because everything comes from Morpho Trust. So here's the link. That's a new thing too. If you want some information, Mrs. Sugarts has flyers. If she's not here to give them to you now, I think they are here. They're right here in here. If not, you can always go and see her. She is our go-to woman. If she ever leaves me, I think I'll cry. I go like this to her all the time because she's so good at what she does. Don't I? Mrs. Friedenberg, yes, I do. Okay, so this is the fingerprinting process, start to finish, on nysed.gov. That's your other go-to website for all your information. And it tells you what you have to do and correct. It's $100, give or take a few cents, right? I always round up. That way when Mr. Kirkovich gets the bill, he's like, well, it was like, if I tell him it was 150, it was really 125, then he's happy. You just got to use reverse psychology with the men, right? Okay. Any question here? How many people knew about this? How many people did not know about this? Okay. All right. So now, as of May 1st, which I we all have new certification tests. EdTPA. Guess what? The EdTPA came out for the 2013-2014 school year. And guess what happened for the 2014-2015 school year? And what happened for the 2015-2016 school year? They're changing. They change it. Not in a macro sense, but in a micro sense. So for everybody on this EdTPA, there are 15 basic rubrics. Lucky you, your adolescents, you only have 15. For the childhood and early childhood, they have 18. No, I think childhood only has 15, I'm sorry. Early childhood, but childhood has 18. Yes?
There's a new lesson plan document. They're not using Debbie Lizone anymore. They've done away with all the EdTPA, the requirement for the lesson plan. They've done away with all the verbatim sections.
Okay.
On the Lizelle one.
Right, but the Lizelle, that's the formative one. The Debbie Lizelle format is the formative, and it's not the capstone lesson plan that we have within ours. So we use the Debbie Lizelle model because it parallels some of the tasks that you're asked to do on the EdTPA, and that's why we use it as a formative lesson plan to help prepare you to use the summative lesson plan. And then the summative lesson plan, some of the areas in the Debbie Lizelle lesson plan were actually areas for commentary. We take those out because your lesson plans can only be a certain amount of pages. So what is the difference between the Debbie Lizelle lesson plan and the capstone lesson plan that we use here as the Damon is that we take the commentary out, and now the commentary is embedded in those large chunks of commentary that you have to write. So it was formative to help you really understand what the EdTPA is going to ask you.
They changed the wording on it too, though, so that the wording for the sections is no longer the same as it was in Lizelle.
Okay, so we'll take a look at that, but right now that is the lesson plan format that we're using. But if you care to share that with me, I'd be happy to take a look at it. Okay, are you talking about on the EdTPA document itself? Okay, well the EdTPA document itself tells you the rudimentary things that you need to have within your lesson plan, and our capstone lesson plan defines that. All right, so the EdTPA is revised. The ALST, what's new? Is new. What is that? What is the ALST? Does anybody in here know?
It's like your senior year English Regents exam.
Right. It's like your senior year English Regents. It's your academic literacy skills test. It's how well you do your reading and your writing. Okay. Your ALST does not measure what you get from this program. Well, it does partially. But it really is a culmination of all your reading and writing experiences and your skills and abilities that you have across your schooling, especially in your arts and sciences. Now, you have to do so many hours within your area of study, English, right? How many people in here social studies? You have to do lots of courses in social studies. How many people math? How many people, okay, one math. Oh, well, who am I missing? We have modern languages, art. Okay, so the reading and writing that you do in your general classes here through the arts and sciences, okay, is one of those things that helps prepare you. But it is based on the format of the ELA Common Core commencement level. So how many people took Common Core commencement level tests? Okay, you took them on the old standard. Therefore, you are not children of the core. So it's a new testing protocol for you. Yes, I thought you'd like that. Okay, so it's a new testing protocol for you. But never fear. We're going to take care of that for you. All right, so what's the EAS? EAS is educating all students. That the education department does prepare you for. Okay, so that is some of the theories and principles behind how we educate students, and it's typically done in case studies. So you have to use the higher level of Bloom's taxonomy, and who can give me 2 really high levels of Bloom's taxonomy? Who can name them? Applying. 1. What? Creating. Synthesis, evaluation, application, those are right up there. That's exactly what that test measures. Can you take those things that you know, those independent things that you know, and are you able to apply them and synthesize and evaluate? Okay, then what is the CST? Content specialty test. Content specialty test is dependent upon the area of study in your program, or what type of adolescent program you choose. Okay, so I'll require electronic testing environment. What's electronic testing environment? Yeah, CBT, computer-based testing, so you have to go to a special site in order to take your test. Did anybody take one yet? Okay. I would say you could take them, I mean, it costs money to take, but you can take them and retake them as often as you'd like. So if you want to take your ALST, if you're in your sophomore to junior year, you want to take it, see how you did on it, see if you might have to take it again, that's fine. You can do that. Okay, so you can take them. They're mastery tests. You get to take them as often as you can. A little costly, but there is that safety net kind of ish thing there, right? Okay, and EdTPA occurs during student teaching. Everybody, Mrs. Friedenberg, would you raise your hand? She's our student teaching placement person extraordinaire. She does all your placements for student teaching. Okay, and they know out there what you have to do, so they know what your requirements are. So you must pass all certification tests and requirements. You have to have fingerprinting, criminal check, DASA save, and a child abuse seminar. Okay, so there's the link for that. There is a safety net memo out there right now. What is a safety net? How many people know what a safety net is? Yes?
If I remember correctly, I have a vague memory of that email. Wasn't it you have multiple chances of being able to take something, and if you score a certain.
Okay.
The memory's
you are. That's a great.
I'm in the right direction, but.
You are, and that's what we call a developmental approximation. I'm going to scaffold upon that and build that thought further. And thank you very much for taking a risk to do that. What happens is, in the safety net, if you do not pass any of these tests on the first attempt within a specific time period, which is shortening very rapidly, there's an alternative way for you to get certified. Each of these tests is a little bit different, but that will dry up in 2016. Okay? So there's a safety net out there. Why did they do the safety net? Why does the government do safety nets or safe harbors, social studies people? Why do they do that with their rules and regulations? Because they found fault in themselves and messed up. So then they have to provide the people they service with an option and opportunity because they don't want to go through litigation in a court system. Okay? So you want to know about that. So you can look at the safety net memo. Is available through Mrs. Sugarts or online. And our department memo is available in chalk and wire under the general certification workspace. How many people have been on chalk and wire? Okay, how many people have not been on chalk and wire? Oh, go on and have fun. Play around in it. Your EdTPA is on there already. So the EdTPA, the current EdTPA is on there for you. You paid for that in your freshman year. You get to keep it, and you get to keep it after you leave here for a couple years. I'm not sure exactly what the window is that you get to keep it. But all your information is on there, and there's a general certification website, workspace. If you want a personal tour, Mrs. Zawodzinski, Kathy Zawodzinski, is at the Thomas Reynolds Center. She will take you on a personal tour if you so desire. But my best advice to you is you get together, you click on it, and you take a look at it. You guys are good at that, like Facebook, right? And Twitter. And okay, you can do it. All right. So let's just take a few little. Let's get a visual here because I'm using my multiple intelligences. Okay. There's the update. As of when was this updated? Because they keep changing things, so they update things. So this is available on the website, and these are the updates. Okay, for the different set of tests, all right? So frameworks were posted. Look at how quickly the frameworks were posted, and then how quickly the tests were operational. Okay, I think I would take a little more time, but I'm not New York State. But anywho, that's what it is. It is what it is. All right, now I'm going to go back here because I want you to see chalk and wire. Oops. Oh. Usually it's not like this, a problem. It's probably me because that was probably the only link I didn't check. Mea culpa, my bad. I'm sorry, I apologize. All right, but chalk and wire is available to you, and you need to go take a look at it. Yes?
Can I make a recommendation?
Sure.
It's not on this list, it's something that's not gonna cost you anything, it's something that will set you apart from students in other colleges. FEMA offers emergency preparedness courses that are free.
Mm-hmm.
And you can take the emergency preparedness courses through their website. Some of the courses are about 3 hours long. They'll have a course on emergency preparedness for schools. And what you do is you can print off the curriculum if you're interested, but then when you actually sit through the exam to get your certification, you have to sit through it live. So that means that you cannot leave once you activate the material. And then at the end of it, you take an exam, which is approximately a 30-minute exam. And provided that you pass the exam, you'll get a certification that says that you have some knowledge base as to how to respond to an emergency on your campus. These
Perfect,
emergencies
yeah.
prepare you for things such as, what if there's a natural disaster? What if there's a fire? What if there's an active shooter? What if there's those kind of scenarios? And if you take these, it's something that you can have on your resume. It's a little bit of information for dealing with these kind of things. And it's the one thing that you wouldn't have to pay for.
Yeah, one of the few things. Yeah, we're always, thank you, that's an excellent suggestion. We're always looking at rounding out our resume and making it more valuable as an employee. Okay, so chalk and wire, we can go into chalk and wire. I'll try to go into chalk and wire in a different way in a little bit, just so that I need to move on here. Okay, so where do you take these tests? Alert. On the FAQ page? All right, Dr. Shields will get to it. All right. So technology, as technology always is, even though we checked these things like just an hour ago. All right, so here's the multi-subject teachers of childhood grade 1 through 6, but that's not relevant to you, so I picked a sample for, here's English Language Arts. Okay, so it's a computer-based test, and who's English? English, okay, all right, this is yours, all right? So you can check appointments, you can check availability, your passing score is 520, your test fee is 149. This is to review a complete fee and payment policy, view your score report dates because you take the test on a certain day and then the day they're reported out. Here is a really important thing for you. It says review preparation materials for this test, review safety net information for redeveloped CSTs. So not only did they mess up on the EAS and the ALST and the GPA, but they kind of rushed it on the CSTs too. So you can
Take it again for free as long as it's before 2016. Is that if I remember correctly?
Everyone has a different. I'd have to go look at the list. I don't have those committed to memory, but there's different. For each test, there's a different protocol. Okay, so I did this. So who's history and social studies? Okay, you're going to have a different view. Okay, so that comes from here. You can see exactly where I got it. I did a snippet from here. You can go back. You can look at your different test selections. Okay, any question there? Okay, so you have to go to the website. Is there anybody here who's looking for dual certification? No, I don't think so, right? If you were looking at dual certification, you'd have to take the CST and the students with disability CST. Right now, our school is looking at proposing a program for special education for 7 through 12. 7 through 12. We have to go all the hoops for New York State. How can I study for my CSTs? Okay, so this one happens to be a study guide for multi-subject, but yours is all in there too. Okay, so you could just click on those study guides and there they are. What else could you get to help you study? Okay, so this has the elementary and the early childhood, but you have to take the ALST and you have to take the EAS, so it happens to be in this book. So how much can this book cost? Or you could get it from a friend who took it already, right? Or you and a friend can split it, right? So none of this is unfamiliar to you, is this? Where did you use books like this before? For the SAT, you did it for the SAT. How about what else? Did you use them in high school to prepare for your high school exams? No? Okay, well, they're out there. This is a good testing site. We have one in our office if you want to take a look at it. So here's like let's do this one. See, there it is. Here it is on Amazon. Make sure you get the most recent edition. Okay, so for student teaching, those of you who are going out to student teach, we have requirements besides all that other stuff. You need to have a current health appraisal, PPD, background check, fingerprinting, possible drug screening. Might be required by an agency if you're going to an agency. And if you don't have all your stuff done, it delays your ability to be placed for student teaching.
How current does the health appraisal need to be?
Within a year.
Within a year.
Not every school district asks for a health appraisal, but many schools do. What's the PPE? PPE is for to test to see if you're a carrier of tuberculosis. They do a small little injection under the skin, and then you have to go back. I believe it's 48 hours.
What if you got that, the PPD before you came to college? Do you still have to get it?
Depending upon the school district.
Yeah. See, once we send you out, we have our rules, and they have their rules. And we try to have a happy marriage. But sometimes it's not happy.
Which school districts are requiring fingerprinting or student teaching?
For adolescent, a lot of the high schools are not, but some like private schools and other places like that.
Charter schools.
So should we be telling the students to do this their junior year then? Or is it, we're just knowing about it right before student teaching? Should we have
What?
put it in our syllabus for the semester before student teaching or 2 semesters before? I didn't realize they needed.
It's not as common for adolescents, I'll be honest with you. It's much more common for agencies. So some of those students who are dual majors in special education, they will have, they'll have to do that. Yeah, you're gonna read me?
You have to get fingerprinted for your certification anyway,
Right.
so you might as well do it now.
The
Get it out of the way.
fingerprinting definitely.
What's that?
I said I agree the fingerprinting, but I'm saying like the PPD, then most of the high schools for the adolescents will not require it.
Let's talk about fingerprinting.
Okay.
PPD just makes it not you gotta do what you have to do.
Right.
So it's just the requirements from the place that you are. Some have a wide range of requirements, and some have just a smaller range of requirements. Yes, go ahead.
One thing that has changed though for the adolescents, just to be prepared, is it is becoming more common that even for practicum placements, that they want to interview students before they're allowed into schools. So that takes a lot of time frame. So they'll say, yes, we want to meet with them. Even on their student teaching, when we send out to see what teachers are out there that are willing to take a student teacher, they'll say it's only by interview It's through the interview process only. So they'll want the students to come in, potential teacher candidates that are looking for a student placement. So that's why we're going to have to look when the applications are due, so we can secure that placement, because if you go through the interview process and it doesn't meet the needs of the cooperating teacher, then you don't have a placement.
Right. So we have to look at our timelines, and that's that tight, loose thing that we have. We prepare you, the state tests you, and we have to work collaboratively with the school districts.
And to understand that, the cooperating teachers do not have to take a student teacher. So during that interview process, it gives you the practice of going through a formal interview to see if you are well prepared and that you have the professional dispositions to go particularly into a high school setting.
So how does that work with, because we have to prepare a resume and a letter, correct?
Yes.
So somebody like me in their 40s, who's had 25 years of working experience, what do we do? I mean, I'm still not, I guess, what do we put in our what do we put in the resume?
Career Services offers excellent support and counseling, and we'll sit down with you, Ashley. Yeah.
Breath,
Ashley,
yes.
Thank you. Ashley Breath, who coordinates and is the support of the education over at Career Services, has a wealth of information of how to put the most important things and how it pertains to the job that you're seeking.
Okay. So if we have any more questions, we have Mrs. Friedenberg, so you can ask specific questions, Mrs. Sugarts, myself, or Dr. Shields. Let's talk a little bit about how much does this cost.
There was one other, actually two other things. I heard we don't find out our placements until January. Is that really true?
We found out in December.
Okay?
And then the second question is, how many hours of observation do we need before we start to teach?
In your program, each program plan is different. Go ahead.
You have to have 100?
You have to have 100. You probably have to have 100. Our kids have to have 150.
Okay, so that's a huge problem, because the way our classes work, as of right now, once we complete the class we're in, we'll only have 60.
All right.
We're seniors.
I have 80.
All right, we'll take a look at that to make sure, to double check in your program plan, okay? All right, so your NISTIS costs, is it 50 for them?
What's that?
Is it 50 for them? We'll have to take a look. All right, so here are the costs. What are you asking for your holidays and your birthdays of your friends? Huh? Are you going to say I want a pair of Uggs with sparkles on them? No. What do you want to get? What are you going to ask for? Money. Money. Auntie Joni, don't give me a gift. Please give me money. Thank you.
And none of these can be paid for with any kind of student loan. I had people tell me that they took their bar exams by getting the student loans.
Where you ever get your money sources from, I don't know, but this doesn't say you can apply your student loan to this that I'm aware of. Okay? Any question? Okay, so when you do your EdTPA, you submit it through chalk and wire, which is why you need to get familiar with it. You can at any time, if you are an anxiety-oriented person and you're just really concerned about chalk and wire and how it works and what it looks like and what your password is and all that other stuff, trust me, you're there. You just probably haven't had a chance to utilize it. You will utilize it for your EdTPA. Other people use different platforms like Teachscape, chalk and wire, the Pearson platform itself. We use chalk and wire because it archives your information, and that's why we like it. So that's why we use it. It's a little more malleable than some of the other sites. And this is what it looks like. And so when you go on to look at your EdTPA, you click on these different sections and it will take you to those parts of the EdTPA test that you need to take a look at. Okay? All right. So, how many people would like a deeper understanding of the EdTPA? Okay. All right. And also, these are the times that we have set up for this year for ALST, EAS, ITPA, Boot Camp 1 and 2. You are free to come in and out of those boot camps. I know it's during exam week. If you have an exam and you miss it, there's another time that you could come. We offer those for free, so you don't have to go to a test prep place and pay for them. You can come at any time during your program, even your freshman year if you want. Repetition deepens comprehension. So show up if you'd like to, plus we feed you. And so these are the dates. Okay, yes?
And so like the 17th and the 18th at TPA, like you don't need to go to, you don't need to go to both?
I'll tell you what, no, it's not the same information. It's chunks of information. The ITPA is a multifaceted, multifunctional, or a multi-purpose test. So you might miss, if you have a exam, you might miss a presentation about the basics of differentiation. Or you might miss a presentation about academic language. So whatever pieces you can go to, you go to. Everything is archived on the website, and so you can go take a look at that. And if you need specific or extra help, all you have to do is contact your professors if you miss a section and you would like it, or if you would just like the PowerPoint, you can have that. Okay, so we try to make it amenable to you, right? This is a boot camp that we do special here at Damon that other colleges don't do. We do this, and we don't charge you for it, and we don't get paid for it. We just do it because we want you to be successful. Yes?
So just like with all the tests in general, is there some sort of like proposed timeline that we should be following to prepare and take these tests? Because looking at it like from a viewpoint, it's kind of just like
it's overwhelming. Yeah. You can go on those. Do you see where it said how to prepare for those tests? You can download any of that information. You can get the Barron's book anytime you want. I would just chunk it. I'm a chunker, okay? I've learned in my lifetime that I need to chunk. If I have to have something that's due in January, I've already started on it. I've chunked as much as I can. I do bits and pieces. ALST is reading, writing skills. You can take it during your junior year. You could even take it during your freshman year if you think you're up to it. But there are sample tests online. Take a look at it. Look at the Barron's book. Take the practice tests. You can do those anytime you want. EAS, you're not going to have enough information to be able to take that EAS until you finish your program. CSTs, you're not going to have enough information until you get to the CST, until you get to, like your junior year. You're just not going to have enough information because you haven't been through all those courses. So ALST is basic academic literacy skills. All right, the others you can start taking whenever you feel you're ready. Go look at the sample tests. Another thing that you can do online is you can buy a electronic prep test for $39.99, or is it $39.95? Whatever. All right. So it doesn't say how many people can take that test. So if you want to take that test, you throw in $10, you throw in $10, you throw in $10, and you sit there and you take that test together. Then you get the prep book. So anytime you're ready, on your breaks, I know, I would rather go partying. I'll be real honest with you. But, sometimes you just have to study. Okay, so how would you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? Because this is like a big elephant to you, right? It's like a huge elephant, right? How do you eat one? Just one bite at a time. That's all you can do is take little bites. Good questions. You are awesome with your questions. Okay, so why is testing and grades so important? Because just recently, Senate Bill 4210, which has been passed through the Senate, hasn't been passed through the House, and has not been put into Commissioner's regulations yet, but is going there. Okay? Another one of those it might be the propeller, right? On the plane where they're trying to fly it. All right? So new regulations for graduate school admittance proposed. You must take a GRA, SAT, ACT, or ACT, one or the other, and have a GPA of 3.0 or better. They also have a cut score for where you have to score on the GRE, SAT, and ACT. Okay? That's not scary because we already looked to see where everybody is who already took an SAT or an ACT 8, and guess what? We're right in the ballpark. Yes?
Do you need both the SAT and
No. They haven't finished the legislation, but no, so far they only told us one. And also we're looking to see if they can take the Miller's analogy test as well. All right, they're debating that. It's really, I just got back from Saratoga Springs for a conference, and I told you, the Commissioner of Education is shorter than I am. And then Dr. John DeGotti, he was there too. He told me that, you know, that some of this stuff isn't fleshed out yet. But is this coming? Yes. Is it in our standards? Yes. Okay, so we have to, but you're, come on, you wouldn't be here unless you were smart. Pat yourself on the back and get some confidence here, right? We can do this. Do you know what our ITPA pass rate is for the 1 through 6 program? 100% for first-time takers. Ask the governor of the state of New York how many times he took his bar exam before he passed it.
What was it for the adolescents?
83%. Okay, and then when people miss, they miss like little portions, so you just take that little portion over again. Sometimes it was not even the fault of the test taker. Thank you, Dr. Wolf is shaking her head. So sometimes you just have to take a portion. Okay, so not a big deal. We're way better. We're way above the state average. And we're way above the national average for our ITPAs. I don't know what to tell you there. Okay, so the rest of it, you know, we can't pour it in your head. You got to prep for it. It is what it is. And you know what? Teaching is a noble profession. It's great. You got to get out there and have fun with it because it's one of the best professions there could ever be. And I talk too much, and Dr. Shields, it's your turn now. He's going to choke me later.
Not at all.
Here, I'm going to give him this because I want to see him. Let's see what he looks like.
Messed up my moose. All right, we threw a lot of stuff at you today, and as I was prepping for this last night, I was all set to go, and then last night at midnight they launched the new website. So bear with me. It's been a nightmare today.
On that little note of pause, I'm going to get some soda.
All right. There's two areas I want to hit in the little time that I have. You'll have to find the education page, which is not that easy yet, but I just went to A to Z and I just clicked on E, and this will take us to the education website. Maybe. It's working. It's working. Where did the commissioner go to college? She is a Damon graduate. Think of it. You're walking the same halls as the commissioner of education. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so this is the education page. And what I want you to do is I'm just going to focus on a couple of areas. The bachelor's FAQ page and your bachelor's cert codes. This was the information that I think is the most germane right now. So real quickly, this is the bachelor's cert codes. And I saw what, English in here? Okay. So once you go on to teach, that's the arm of New York State to actually apply for your certification. Make sure you have this open on another screen someplace because it'll ask you grades and all this other stuff and everything. And this is the important one, the code, the 24056. If you mess it up and put 257, which is another one, it takes me about 2 weeks to find the person that says it takes about 2 weeks to get it fixed. So when you do your certification, make sure you have this. Everything is right there. Everything is right there. How do I recommend you? I'm the certification officer here, and here's the things that I need. I need your graduation date. I'll have that. I'll need a hard copy of your child abuse seminar, and I need a hard copy of the Project Save. Project Save. And there's links on here on the FAQ page to get that stuff. My suggestion today, and yeah, it costs $30 or something like that. And I think the DASA training's on there too. Now the DASA training, that's the bullying training. You keep a copy of all your stuff. You send that one on to Albany. That's the only one I don't get is that one. The DASA training kind of came fast with the last shooting that they had in was it Connecticut, I guess, and then that's the gun rights law. And all that's happened very, very quickly with the Cuomo administration. So that one is there. Okay. So, yep. When you apply for your certification.
For like my test?
No. When you apply for your certification.
So after you take all your tests.
No. No, you can take your tests today. I don't care. You can apply for your certification today. I don't care. You're not going to get certified until you finish their program, and I recommend you based upon those two things, and you pass all your tests. Okay? So this is just for certification. Okay? Good? I don't know. I don't feel warm and fuzzy right now. And again, all this stuff's here. I'm around. Come and find me, and I'll kind of walk you through it. But honestly, I'm struggling with the new website. All right, I'm going to go back up to the bachelor's FAQ page. Okay, the first question just says, what test do I need to take to pass in order to secure my certification? This is where it gets a little bit cumbersome because there's like 5 different majors in here, so you have to kind of seek and destroy on your own. But this link takes you right to the teacher certification website, and it'll ask you what tests you want to take and what you need and everything. So you got to kind of navigate this, but everything is here in regard to the tests that you need to take. This is the New York State website, and remember, this is still question 1. So this has just the stuff that Dr. K was talking about, certification, all this stuff. Certification is here, so when you click on this, it'll take you to the TEACH link, and TEACH is some acronym for teacher certification. So it's here. Who has not been on this yet? Has not. Okay, you might want to go ahead and register. You can apply, just don't pay for it yet. This is one of the, here I'll give the state some kudos, teacher certification requirements. And again, this is still under question 1, what test do I need to take? This is the New York State website. So you can search for any certification here on this thing. My time's out. Let me do one real quick. So it's going to be classroom teacher. Let's do English. Let's do 7 through 12. Let's do ELA English. Okay. This is all the stuff that you need to do in order to get certified in New York State. Completion of program, institutional recommendation, that's stuff that I need. These are the tests that you need. Workshop for the DASA, the bullying training, EdTPA, and fingerprint. It's all the stuff that Dr. Krikovich just talked about right now. Make sure when you apply, this is really important, approved teacher preparation program, not individual. You're not doing an individual certification, you're doing because you're finishing your teacher prep program. Okay, it's late. I'm around. If you got questions, come and see me, and I'll be happy to walk you through stuff. Sorry, I got kind of rushed. How do I stop this?
When is the child abuse seminar offered? Like,
what?
When is the child abuse seminar
go to the FAQ page, go down to the link that says, tell me about child abuse seminar. It's all online.
Okay.
And I think the DASA training, I think those other two are there as well, too.
We're taking the DASA through our social work class, so like we'll have that out of the way.
Okay. Just keep a copy,
Yeah.
and then you got to send it into Albany. Okay, just make sure you copy everything. Okay, because I'm telling you, if you don't want to take DASA training 3 times, you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. Well, she went through an awful lot. So, what? Oh. Are you still doing APA stuff? Coaching?
I'm coaching.
Okay, APA?
Oh, no, she hasn't announced.
Did you get trained for APA?
I'm under SCD 270 for coaching.
For APA? Because there's a difference.
No, I don't know.
Okay, I'll check with Carol.
Well, I just helped a girl.
I thought you had an APA though. Didn't we specifically do APA or no? Or maybe it was just rating. Yeah.
Like just writing 7 different things.
And it could be just writing. That's true. Not just, you know what I mean. Come and find.
Need to figure out what's going on with observation hours.
First time hearing of it.
Me too. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know I had to worry about it
You don't.
until all of a sudden.
You don't.
I only have 44 hours in. And I'm
My
assuming-
opinion is, well, first we got to look to see what classes didn't do their practica, because they should have done them all. And then, secondly, it's our responsibility, not yours, to do that. So I don't know where we dropped the ball, or the department dropped the ball, or somebody dropped the ball. So I don't know. I got to look at it. You, I'm not worried about, because you know what you're doing. You're headstrong. You're a pain in the butt. But I love you.
I know, I love you too, but I don't want to get to the...
No.
I don't want to get to
What
January
happens
and
is,
say
no.
I can't start
No.
student teaching because I don't have enough
No,
observation hours.
no. What'll happen is, if that's the case, we'll meet as a faculty and say, we're going to approve you to go, because when you finish your program, in the regulations and rules, it does say that when we recommend, we feel, the education department, the college feels that you've done everything that you needed to do in order to get certified. So I don't worry about the hours. It's our problem, not yours. It's a big problem, but we got to figure it out. Because my bitch is that somebody dropped the ball. And I don't know who.
Because I mean, I'll have, by the end of the semester, I'll have 60.
Yeah.
And then I'm supposed to start student teaching in January.
Yeah. No, you keep going for student teaching. Keep going. No, we gotta figure out what happened. It's not you that did it. We gotta figure it out. How do you stop this thing from recording?
Just come and talk to me and say, I just have so many.
It's the first time I've ever worn it. Red button.
Sometimes they're looking for after school.